What's up, everybody? Oh gosh, that was a lot cheerier than I meant it to be. Okay, today I'm just doing a little vlog because it's a very important day for me. Today is the anniversary of my diagnosis with anorexia and depression. I have been in recovery for 6 years. I was diagnosed in 2010. I've written about this so many times, so if you really want to know what the deal is, then go to my blog. The link is in the doodly thingy down there, you know, the description box. And there's a lot of posts about it, really. I think I revisit it every single year. So if you just like go to the archive or like whatever, it's in there. Anyway, I wanted to make this video. And normally I don't do videos on Fridays. You know, I just... Okay, here's my point. I have been in recovery for 6 years. When I was diagnosed, I had a resting heart rate of 39 beats per minute awake, meaning that it was lower than that when I was asleep, and if it's below 40 beats per minute, you have a very high chance of your heart stopping in your sleep. I weighed about 30 pounds less than I do now, and I was completely obsessed with food. I had an all recipes account, and I would seriously just be on that website every day after school staring at recipes that I have still never made. And I didn't eat anything then either. I think the max I would ever eat in a day was like 800 calories. So I exercised a lot too. I would do about an hour of high intensity interval training every single day. No breaks. If I took one rest day, it was like the end of the world. I had a calendar on my wall in my bedroom. I would mark off with a little X every day that I worked out, and if there'd been any missed days, then it was the whole month was shot to shit, basically. So, very unhealthy relationship with exercise and food. And I was diagnosed. I was put into outpatient care. I should have been put into inpatient just because of the heart thing, but there was some kind of like negligence on a lot of people's parts. So, I'm alive, so it doesn't really matter, but that always kind of pisses me off. Anyway, the point is, in 2010, the year 2012, you know, when the world was supposed to end, I was like, the world's not going to end, but I don't know if I'm going to live to see 2013, because in my head, I would rather have been as skinny as possible and died than live to see the year 2013. That was where I was at. I cried. I threw so many fits when they made me eat in recovery. They told me not to exercise, and I would get up after everyone had gone to bed at like 11 o'clock at night and do crunches and push-ups on my bedroom floor. And, you know, try not to get too sweaty because I couldn't take a shower or wash my face at like midnight. They would know something was up, but I couldn't not work out. I had to do something. So I would wake up, or I wouldn't wake up. I wouldn't even go to sleep. I would have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 or 6 the next day for school, and I would be up doing little exercises as quietly as I could, because my mom was like, listen to the doctor, don't do exercise. So wasn't allowed to exercise, had to eat a lot. My nutritionist told me to eat lots of candy and potato chips so that I would gain a lot of weight really fast. Didn't do that, because that sounded stupid in my head. Maybe she had a point, but in my head I was like, why are you telling me to do that? That's really stupid. I still kind of think that I should have been taught how to eat healthy things, but it's fine. I seriously would cry, and eating a meal would be a couple hours of effort of my poor then boyfriend, trying to get me to eat. It would be me like crying and hiding in the bath. Like I would lock myself in the bathroom and just so that I wouldn't have to eat. It was a disaster. But here we are 6 years later. In the year 2013, I actually got married. 2016 now. I graduated from college. Didn't think I would have even lived to graduate college. I was so certain in my head I had a plan. I was like, fine, I'll gain the weight But when I go to college, I'm gonna lose it all again. Didn't do that. I gained the freshman 15, actually. And I was surprisingly fine with it. So, yeah, it's 2016. I have been hired into a wonderful full-time job that I can see myself doing for many years and is going to allow me to do what I want to do on the side as well and work towards eventually just doing that full-time, which is writing and making videos for all of you lovely people. And, you know, also take some vacations. I have my own apartment. I have a beautiful little cat who is going somewhere right now. She's adventuring. You know, married to my high school sweetheart. My best friend lives 10 minutes away. And things are looking up. And none of this would have happened if I had let myself listen to my eating disorder. If I had given in to that voice in my head that told me to starve until I died, I wouldn't be here. And I mean, I live in the Pacific Northwest. It's beautiful. I wouldn't get to really appreciate, because I didn't get to go out and adventure. I lived under a very strict household. I wasn't really allowed out. Just seeing my boyfriend was kind of a huge negotiation with my mother. So just being able to go on the hikes that I've been on and make those videos and take all the trips that I've been making around the area, and then, you know, just my yearly vacations to Disneyland. None of that would have happened if I'd have died, because that's where I would have headed, honestly. It was so bad. In my head, I was like, I just need to get down to this weight, and then to this weight, and then to this weight. And at that, eventually, because it never would have been good enough. I would have gotten to the point where I'd have just died, because my body wouldn't be able to live anymore on such low calories and such low weight. And food is delicious. I knew it was delicious, but I demonized it in my head. But now I get to eat. I have some ice cream in my freezer that I can't eat because my cat will literally knock the spoon out of my hand so that she can eat it. But I get to have that fight with my cat to eat ice cream, and that would not happen if I had given in to my eating disorder. If I hadn't gone through that hell of recovery, because recovery it's hell. It's not fun. And for those of you out there that are struggling, I know what you're going through, believe me. I had nightmares, honestly, about food and gaining weight. And I can't even tell you how many times I have cried over the scale and my caloric intake and how my body looks. I cried the other day, honestly, about how my body looked. I cried on Wednesday about how my body looked. So I understand what you're going through. I know the self-hatred, the amount of self-loathing, that's like a tongue twister, that your brain can just like scream at you about how worthless you are. You're not worthless. Do not listen to that voice, because it doesn't mean anything. It's speaking nonsense. Maybe I'm speaking gibberish right now, but that voice in your head that's telling you you're nothing and that you need to starve, or whatever eating disordered behavior you have, that voice is nothing. And do not listen to it. I want you, if you're out there struggling and you're not in recovery, to just ask for help, because that's actually what I did. I had reached a point where I was like, I think this is gonna get out of control. And I sucked it up, and I told my mother, who is like crazy when it comes to any medical things, and we went to the doctor on March 25th, 2010, and here I am 6 years later. I am alive, and I am able to do things. I don't know if I have osteoporosis. I might. That never got tested. That's something that happens when you are malnourished for a long time. My metabolism actually came back pretty quickly, and then I still work out a lot because I like to do it, and it's important for other health reasons. My family has some like heart issues, so I need to keep active for that reason. But and also just because I like it. But the point is I'm alive, and I want you guys to be alive too. So seek the help that you need. Talk to someone, your friend. I actually talked to my then boyfriend, now husband, first, and he told me that I need to tell my mom and get professional help, and I did get professional help. So just, a friend, a teacher, a counselor, your parents, your grandma, your aunt, your uncle, your older cousin, whoever it is, talk to them. And then those of you that are in recovery, it sucks. And I know it sucks, but you can get through this because I got through it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's easy, because it's definitely not. 6 years later and I still struggle. Like I said, I just cried the other day about my body image. I have a bathroom scale. I haven't stepped on it in months. I focus on those non-scale victories. Just don't even get on the scale, honestly, because the scale is trash. You are worth so much more than any number, and your weight, your grades, anything. You are so much more than any of those things. So I'm just excited that it's been 6 years and I'm still here, and life finally seems to be turning around. They're not joking when they say it gets better, because it really does, and I thought they were joking. I was like, yeah, right, it gets better. This sucks. I take it from me. It gets better. Here I am, 6 years later. Not only am I alive, but I'm finally getting to a point in my adult life where I'm going to be able to actually pay all of my bills and not freak out and take vacations, and I get new tattoos whenever I want, and maybe get another cat. Those are the things that matter to me. But honestly, it gets better, and I know it sucks, it really does. But if I could do it, the girl who cried at breakfast, lunch, and dinner and locked herself in the bathroom for hours to avoid those meals, you can do it too.